Ladies, I know that you think you're doing the right thing by being an escort to people who are coming here to murder their child. But listen, you got to reconsider that. I know that you've heard this over and over again. I'd like to ask you to consider it from a different side. How do you know what's morally right and wrong? Like at the very most fundamental level, how do you know what's right and wrong? And so I'd like to ask you this. So how I know it is because God has said what is morally right and wrong. He is omniscient. He created this universe. He knows everything. He created you and me. He set down a law. Now ask yourself how you know that. How you know what's right and wrong. Because if your answer comes back to something like society says, or I think, or my parents raised me this way, that is not a sufficient answer. Because that conflicts. You cannot live consistently with it. Consider this. What if your society said that it's entirely okay to ship Jews to concentration camps and gas them? The society says that is not only permissible, but morally obligatory. You want to stand there and tell me that was wrong? You want to act all noble and act like, yeah, for sure I would have stood against those Nazi guys because they were shipping Jews to concentration camps and gassing them and throwing their bodies into ditches. You think that that would have been a good and noble thing. But based on what you say about how you know what is moral, you can't know that. If society defines what is right and wrong, then you cannot know that gassing Jews is wrong if your whole society says that it's good and morally obligatory. That leaves you rudderless, rootless, without foundation. You actually don't have a way to know what is right and wrong. All you have is your gut feeling. All you have is what you think you know. This place is a place of death, and anybody who comes here to protect the reputation or to stand in favor of the justifiability of dismembering tiny children, you will stand in God's judgment one day. God is the final arbiter of right and wrong. Only God. We must listen to what He said. We must not be deceived by the other waves that come along, the other voices. We must not be deceived by listening to what authorities, lesser human authorities say, or what the people who staff a building that also bears the name church on its placard on the outside, what they say. There is no authority except what God has set up. And God has said over and over again in the Scripture that many human authorities go astray, straight up go astray. They speak in favor of evil. They speak in favor of that which is evil. My friends, if you come here for an abortion today, or if you already had one, I want to let you know that you can have forgiveness. If you didn't do it, we're thankful. And if you need any help, just come talk to us. We'll talk very calmly and quietly and peacefully to you. Let us know if there's any way that we can show you love and care. Maybe because I was using the megaphone. That's possible. You don't know me, by the way. Huh? You don't know me. I'm just here from Norman. My friends, you can have a better life through Jesus Christ, a life free of guilt and shame. You can have a life in which you have found forgiveness of your sin. It's not a better life by worldly standards necessarily. It is a life in which Jesus has forgiven your sin and you have a relationship with your Creator who made you. You do not have to live in rebellion against God. You do not have to continually stand in favor of murder. The guilt tears you up inside for a reason. God made you to feel guilt when you go wrong. He has provided salvation through Jesus Christ, crucified, dead on the cross, resurrected from the dead, bodily after 3 days. There is no hope except what Jesus himself provides in his body. Guys, turn from your sin. Ladies, turn from your sin. Andy, you don't have to live like this, Andy. Andy, you can have forgiveness through Jesus Christ, Andy. Andy, Jesus wants to forgive you. Andy, God does not take pleasure in the death of the wicked. Turn from your sin. Why will you die? The call of the Scripture is, why will you die? Why consider that you think you know what is right and wrong when you don't? You have been deceived. My friends, we can give you help and assistance. We can give you cash to bear your child. Please don't murder your child. Sir, step up and be a man. Stop being a coward, sir. Don't be a coward, sir. Don't abandon your child and your girl to destruction. Turn away from this path of evil, sir.